was Keefe?
Oh, Keefe was great, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I had a lot of fun. What's going on, y'all? This is Paranoid Grower. I have a special guest today. He is a grow me in the community. He is also a tester for Green Guy Genetics. He is often the quiet person in the room, but once he opens his mouth, great things come to life. Big Jer, welcome to the show. How you doing today, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I see you're out in the wilderness. You gonna tell me about all this?
Yeah, we're up north for the weekend. We come up here on Memorial Day and Labor Day. My father-in-law owns a cabin, so we come up here and the kids tool around on four-wheelers and dirt bikes, and I go fishing and kind of stay to myself.
That's awesome, dude. It's so great. How long are you gonna be out there?
We come back tomorrow. I head off on Thursday. We got ready and came up here Friday. Tomorrow we'll get up and probably leave by 2 or 3 and go home, get ready for work.
Is there a lake nearby?
There's a river. I'm kind of like real close to the upper peninsula of Michigan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I think we're on the Menominee River. It's only like 20 minutes away.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I did a little festivities myself today. My daughter and I went to a Lao New Year celebration at the Buddha Temple here in Middle Tennessee.
Huh.
And it was wild. Like they have like vendors and stuff where you buy like clothing and different, all types of Asian type stuff. But they had food vendors as well. So we got all different kinds of food. And then they also have a parade. And the parade's long. So because they basically circle around the temple like 3 times. And they also stop because they have judges and they have to do like performances and stuff for the judges. So my daughter and I actually were in the parade today and walked around, did 1.5 laps. And we were both tired after that. So we ended up walking back into the event and just walked around like looking at stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
It's pretty cool.
Heck yeah. So what are we smoking on today, sir?
I got some stuff that I just finished by Reserva Privata. It's called Alien Lime Pop. I also got some stuff called Chem Labrada that I just finished from Alabrije.
Nice.
And I went to the Dispo yesterday and I got a super boof cart and some apples and bananas herb. So
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm smoking on the strawberry widow from Green Guy Genetics. I was a tester for the strawberry widow. So I was
good.
one of the lucky ones. Yeah. That seemed like that was the hit, one of the hits that besides the Max Torx BBOJ. Everybody seemed like they liked that strawberry widow.
Yeah, I grew some strawberry wedding, and that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
How was Keefe?
Oh, Keefe was great, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I had a lot of fun. The event last year, we went to Peoria. It was better. It was more. I liked the layout better. This place was a little bit more crammed, but the hangout in Rudy's RV was top notch. Just being able to hang out with everyone and smoke out and
like a good time.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of similar to Hash Bash. Just hanging out and with the Gromies and trading seeds and talking grow and trying each other's flower and all the good things.
Yeah.
So I got a new segment I was going to go ahead and start today called Community Drop. Actually, we have one of our Gromies in the community, Back Nine Bandit, has a drop this Friday on May 30th at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. There are 25 box sets with the headache helper and soreness salve, along with packs of the sauce and not dump truck from Green Guy Genetics. Be sure to contact Back Nine Bandit on Discord. It is first come, first serve, but he will be taking a head count for the next batch. This is only the first wave so far, so everybody listening in, be sure to jump on that drop that Back Nine Bandit's got coming up here soon. Dang, you got a big old dog over there. What the?
Yeah, it's my baby.
Yeah, what kind of dog is that?
He's half English Mastiff and half Great Dane.
Yeah, I could hear the Great Dane in him.
It's so funny. He goes with us. He goes with me everywhere, and I have a big truck, and he jumps in it. And he went fishing with us today, and I'm standing out on an outcropping of rock, only like 4 feet big, and he's standing right next to me the whole time. He will not leave my side.
That's awesome, man. I love having the mascots around. You know, having the dogs and stuff. They're fun.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely my baby.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, we go ahead and start talking about Hash Bash, since that's where you and I had met at earlier this year. Met at Hash Bash 2020. Met at Hash Bash 2025 in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Please name a few highlights of your experience from the Hash Bash weekend, please.
Definitely the hangout at Matt Pratt and yours and Cheese's place. I think that's who had the place there. That was pretty awesome.
Heck yeah.
And it was really cool to meet a lot of people in the community. I don't really know anybody, and Bearded and Chick put me up with Badger and didn't really ask for anything, and everybody was just very friendly and helpful, and that was probably the best part, just kind of the sense of camaraderie, amongst the people.
Absolutely, man.
But yeah, it was a really good time. I can't wait. I haven't done anything like that in so long. It reminds me of, kind of like when I was a kid going to fish shows, and I went to one cannabis thing in Madison in 2020, maybe a little bit before that, and it was Harvest Fest in Madison, and that was really awesome. Everybody was really cool, but definitely not a lot of cannabis events around by me. So
for sure. Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm in Prohibition land, and there's not very many. And if there is, there's no consumption. Like that's a no. But we'll go ahead and break down Hash Bash. Thursday, I got to the Hash Bash house. I think it was Matt Fratt, his wife, and Green Guy were there, and then you showed up like within minutes of me showing up. Like it was really close together. But it was really cool once you got there, because we just immediately went back onto the back deck and smoked out the back deck there. But we did get to try some of the concentrates in the oxygen room. Did you end up hitting Matt Fratt's rig?
I don't know if I did or not. I was smoking that hash.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did smoke the hash. Yeah, man. So we'll go ahead and talk about that hash experience, sir. Was that your first time smoking hash?
I have some hash that I bought, but it's really like not even, it was pretty crazy how it didn't even compare to just the consistency and the way that it burned and the way that it hit. It was just a totally different level than I've experienced, I think.
Right. What when you smoked the hash before, what were you smoking it out of a cheese bowl, or was it mixed in with a joint?
I usually put it in a joint or on top of a bowl.
Gotcha. So that was your first time experiencing the cheese bowl and the herb iron and all that then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Heck yeah. Well, Friday, we ended up meeting up at the Hash Bash house, and of course, I ended up giving my scavenger hunt map away to Back Nine Bandit. But then you were riding solo, so I'm like, well, hey man, would you mind if I just ride with you? And you're like, yeah, of course, let's go. So it worked out for both of us because we ended up hitting up a few dispensaries along the way. It was information entropy. That was that one that was like the really cool architecture on the inside. Like it was like vaulted ceilings. Like it was crazy looking.
Yeah, it was like a cathedral almost.
Right. Yeah. What did you end up getting from them?
That was where I got the that rosin that's Donnie Burger.
Oh, that's right.
Donnie Burger rosin.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did get to sample a little bit of that. Then we went to Bloom City Club, which that place was like tiny. We were sitting there cramped up in the waiting room forever.
Yeah.
Got a few goodies there, and then we actually went over to a head shop called Bongs and Thongs. That was a wild place.
Yeah.
There was a piece there. I was going to grab it. Did you end up getting anything from them?
No, I was just kind of looking around. I saved most of my money for stuff I could bring home to smoke.
Right. Yeah, because we ended up going to Winewood Organics, like right after that, and that's where I bought some of that super booth, that live hash that they had. It was pretty decent stuff. Like I actually like that. I like that whole place in general. Anyways, shortly after that, we ended up going to the Cup. So I know that was your first experience with the Cup. So would you like to share your experience with that?
No, it was just crazy. It's just I don't go to like events really anymore, with a lot of people, and I'm not a really big crowd person, and being around that many people and that close to that many people, and it was just intense, I mean, it was definitely smoky in there, but it wasn't not nearly as bad as the back porch at the house.
That's the truth. Yeah, with the Cup, if you wanted to get to like the smokiest part of it, it's usually like Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I can't believe they can do that in a hotel and get away with that. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The guys that you deal with, that's kind of a whole nother level. Like, it's kind of intimidating talking to some of them guys. It just seems like they're kind of high pressure, kind of. So it was nice to be with somebody and just kind of keep moving instead of kind of being stuck at a table or something, when you're with somebody else, you can kind of just keep each other moving along and just kind of get through it faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not one to unless it's like something like I said, if they're selling like seeds and like the person there, the breeders there, like I will sit at a table for a little bit, but when it comes to that trapper market type stuff, like I'm ready to just like, okay, I'm not going to get stuck in your little spiel.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that. Like I don't want to get any of that. Cause we did, of course we did buy some junk stuff because of that. Like every once in a while we would get trapped at a table.
Yeah.
We bought the fake Tyson carts. That was, it was supposed to be super booth, but we were calling it mediocre booth because it was not good at all.
Yeah. It tasted horrible.
Oh, it was horrible. Yeah, he's later on that night we went back to the Hash Bash house and tried everything. And Matt Fratt actually had a super booth cart that he had purchased in Michigan.
Yeah.
And that was actual super booth. And we tried that Tyson one. We're like, dude, this is not the real, this is not it.
Or yesterday I got another one of those. It was really good.
So like where did you go for that super booth? Where like
yesterday we went to this place called Rise. I like it just because it's a drive-through.
Oh, okay.
So I can just look it up online and then drive across to Michigan. It's only like 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, go over there and come back.
Because I've never been to Rise. I actually have one of their bags downstairs, but I've never been. I've heard a lot of good things about the place, but
Yeah, it's not bad. My oldest son drove to Loom. He likes Loom a lot. I don't know. They're all right.
Loom. Okay, yeah, I never heard of Loom.
They kind of have their own brand, which I don't is good and bad. Like so they don't carry any of the other major brands. So they don't have like most of their cultivars. I don't really recognize. They're kind of their own.
Oh, okay.
Some of them you recognize, but they're crossed with something else, or something like that. They're known. They're one that I really remember is called Jenny Kush, and it's supposed to be really high in THC, but yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I like to try the stuff that I know the genetics, so maybe I'll get the seeds someday or something.
Heck yeah. Well, talking about seeds, we'll go ahead and talk about your garden. What do you currently have growing on in your garden right now, sir?
So I got a lot going on right now. I have my greenhouse that I'm pretty much got almost ready to go now. There's 15 different autos in there.
Whoa.
And they're all in like 5 gallons. And then 8 of them, I think, are in self-watering 5 gallons that I plan on turning on once they get big enough. But I have, if I can remember them all, I know that I have a banana back cross by Ethos. These are all autos and all femmes. And then I have a Chem Labrada, or not a Chem Labrada, the Corgi by Alabrije. And then I have the F2 Drowsy Lobaka that Ganic made seeds of. And then I have some Frostfire in there. I have the Pineapple Treat. I have one old Viking that I started that's the wedding cake crossed with Mac crossed with his hammer.
Oh, wow.
And then I have Asgardian wedding in there. But I only got 2 of the seeds going, so I'm hoping one of them's a lady.
There you go.
And then what else I have? A gummy bears in there. I have fruit by the foot, and those are both by Atlas. So then I have a bunch of photos inside that I've been working on since March that I'm trying to get sex and figure out which ones are females. I have a bunch of different varieties in there, like a chocolate tie from Rudy, and a bunch of these genetics from OK Calyx that he sent. And I got some bokashi, and I ordered some seeds from him. So I probably have like 30 plants in there that I have to try to sex and figure out some joint custody in there. Some blueberry OJ and some neurotoxin. The OK Calyx are legendary cherry and another cherry cultivar. I can't remember. And then I have a cherry NDT from Green Guy. I have 3 of his testers in there. So I have a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Just got a little bit going on. Just a tiny bit.
I just planted 3 up here up north, and I don't know that they're gonna do well. They usually don't, but I gave them all some nice soil from back at home, and it's a cross between the Australian bastard cannabis and pulga, which is a cultivar that grew in the Himalayan mountains, supposedly.
Wow.
So I was hoping maybe they'd survive the frost better. Well, we'll see, I guess.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, I have some growing questions for you before the hot seat. Are you ready for those, sir?
Sure.
All right. How long have you been growing cannabis?
Since I was a young, I've always tried to, but being in this state where it's prohibited, it's kind of hard to see it through all the way a lot of times. So, I mean, overall, I've been playing around with it for over 20 years, but
Wow.
I haven't had a lot of success to finish things a lot of times. I had some mishaps with a landlord came in one time and found everything, and that was the end of that year pretty much, other than a couple that I got out.
Wow.
When you're a kid, I was always messing around as a kid, but sometimes you get them out and then you never see them again. And but yeah, I just finally had my indoor first harvest. I would say technically my first on my own of stuff autoflowers like about 3 weeks ago. So it's so weird. I'm kind of new, but I'm kind of old.
That's all right. All right. Who or what got you into growing cannabis?
Probably music, listening to like reggae and Bob Marley, and maybe friends of mine too. Curiosity, seeing it around.
All right. Which cultivar was your first to grow, and how did it go?
Man, back in the day, we had a lot of crazy stuff. My friend's dad would get seeds from Mark Emery in Canada, and he'd order them, and we'd get stuff from him. And so the one that I really remember was called Liberace. It's supposed to be a fast flowering strain. It turned out pretty good.
All right. Which cultivar has been your favorite to grow?
I'm still trying to get the hang of auto flowers, so I don't always get the best of harvest, but I've had some pretty decent luck with green guy. Last year I grew a blueberry sauce out and it did really well. His stuff seems to be pretty easygoing and forgiving for my lack of knowledge.
All right. That's cool. Do you have a preference in autoflowers versus photo periods, but I think you already kind of answered.
I prefer right now, because of my situation, the auto flowers, because I can run through so many of them and get so much variety. Last year I did 2 runs of autos in the greenhouse, but this year I think what I'm going to do is just stick with 1 auto run and then finish some photo periods at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you use organic or synthetic methods?
I use organic, like
Nice.
a super soil mix. Yeah, back when I was probably about 20 years old, a friend of mine was pretty active and had a lot of success, and he lived kind of on a farm or next to a farm, and he had this, I think it was the Ed Rosenthal book, but it was like the Grow Diary. It was like a spiral. So he had that, and he borrowed that to me, and that was kind of like my Bible for a while. It provided so much information of nutrients that you could use and mix to make your own soil. So that's kind of how I learned, was to do stuff like that.
Do you make your own amendments?
I made some leaf compost this year. There's some leaf mold. That's probably about it for the most part. I mean, I'll make compost tea and I'll sprout some seeds for a sprouted tea, but I don't really make any of my own amendments.
Gotcha. What type of equipment do you use?
Well, I have the MyGrow light now, and I do a lot of my growing in my little greenhouse that I got from Harbor Freight. So, and then I have like another little room set up where it's like a coat closet from Walmart. That was kind of my drying closet, and now it kind of turned into my cloning closet. And I made my own easy cloner, like the Aerojet spray one.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much use pretty basic things, and I'm kind of anti-industry. I just kind of refuse to buy anything that's cannabis related unless I really have to, because I feel like you're just getting bent over by the man,
You really are. Yeah, with that, the whole green tax thing is ridiculous. Especially if it's not green tax, the price is automatically hundreds of dollars cheaper. It's like, okay, come on.
Yeah, nobody wants you to learn how to do it. They want you to just use their products.
Do you grow anything besides cannabis?
Yeah, I got a big garden. And, I have a lot of cactuses that I've been into growing since I was young. My friend's dad always had cactuses when I would go over there. One of my best friends, and ever since we were kids, we both have grown cactuses as well. So I have a pretty big collection of cactus and have a nice garden outside that I work on every year.
So what kind of cactuses do you have? Like,
I have some that are considered more of a succulent, so they look like a cactus, but they're considered a succulent. And then I have the last couple of years, I really got into growing different. They're pretty much peyote cactuses, but they're called Lophophora, I believe the scientific name is. But I have just a bunch of different kinds. San Pedro and some column cactuses that are called organ pipes. And then I have a really big jade bush. And
that's awesome, man. I've never grown a cactus before. That'd be interesting to do.
Feels like home when I go down in my little room and all them plants are in there.
Right? That's so cool, dude. What has been your favorite thing you've learned about growing?
How easy it can be, or how it can be like as easy or as complex as you want it to be, you know? Like you can get by with pretty much nothing, or you could work towards something that's super technical that you have to pay a ton of attention to. And I just get really zoned into things that take a lot of specificity at times because I think I have OCD. So if there's something that requires a process, I can really get into that, you know, and kind of follow that process and see the results and work from that, you know, and maybe try to change that or make that better, you know.
I completely understand that, sir. The last question before the hot seat is, what advice would you give to an inspiring cannabis grower looking to start their own garden?
Learn about gardening more in general instead of specifically cannabis gardening, because if you get down that rabbit hole and think that everything has to be cannabis related, you're going to spend a lot more money and kind of become just another money source for these guys that are creating products that you could probably make at home with a 5-minute video on YouTube, you know. So
dude, that's wonderful advice. That is truly wonderful advice. All right. Are you ready for the hot seat?
yeah.
All right, bro, here we go. All right, which band or artist did you see for your first concert and venue?
So I think that I can remember was Huey Lewis and the News at a place in Milwaukee when I was a kid, and the venue is called Summerfest, and they still have it every year. And my mom used to take us to these concerts when we were kids, and we just hated it. But now I like that music, and it kind of I'm kind of fond of it, you know. But when you're there and you're a kid, you know, and your mom's dragging you around, it wasn't the best at the time, but
yeah, I would love to see Huey Lewis. That's pretty good. I like that one. What was your favorite song when you were 16?
It'd probably be some kind of rap, like heavier rap. I was into the Ghetto Boys and stuff like that when I was that age. Probably like Scarface or the Ghetto Boys, something like that.
Yeah, dude. I love that. I love the Ghetto Boys and Scarface. They're excellent. All right. What was your first audio tape you purchased?
I don't know if I can remember my first tape, but I remember I had a lot of Motley Crue tapes when I was pretty young. Like I want to say I was in like third grade, and I was listening to Motley Crue and wearing Motley Crue T-shirts.
Oh, that's great. All right. Do you play any musical instruments?
No, I used to play the guitar when I was younger, and I still have a guitar, but I don't ever play it.
Gotcha. Have you met a musical artist or band in person? This could be a meet and greet or out in the wild.
My wife and I both had a meet and greet with Mike Love, and we had a meet and greet with Hyrie. The girl's name is Patty or Patricia, but the band is Hyrie.
Okay.
So we both met those guys. That was pretty awesome.
Where'd y'all meet them?
Mike Love was in Madison at the High Noon Saloon, and then Hyrie was in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a good time. We
Heck
went on
yeah.
we got to go on her tour bus, and then she played like a ukulele, and her guitarist played his guitar, and they kind of played a little quiet set, like an acoustic set on the bus. So that was really cool.
That's wild. What is the most surprising opener you've ever seen perform live?
I've really been into this Bikini Trill lately.
Oh my God, I love Bikini Trail, dude. Yes.
We went to see this band from Ohio that I like a lot, Tropodelic, and they were playing in a small town by us, and no reggae ever plays by us, like in small town area. So we have to drive away to like Milwaukee or Madison usually, which is an hour and a half. So they were playing at a place by my dad's house, and when we got there and we found out that Bikini Trill was opening, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would love to see Bikini Trail for sure. They could rock the place. All right. Which band or artist has been your favorite to see perform live and the venue?
So we go to see a lot of reggae, or it's kind of called sunshine reggae. But I think like the most fun time that we have is either Tropidelic's a lot of fun, or there's this band from Hawaii called Iration, and we've seen them 2 or 3 times now. And just any reggae or any band that has like horns in the music is just it adds so much like kind of sunshine to it. It's just a good time.
Yeah, I like the horns.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. If you could make your own music festival lineup, who would be your top 3 headliners?
So is that just a living, or is that
you could? This is the Big Jer music festival, dude. It could be whoever the hell you want. They come rise out of the grave and put on the best performance of a lifetime.
I think Bob Marley would have to be there.
100%.
Jimi Hendrix, I think, just always would love to see what he does with the guitar in person. And it's hard to say the third. I tend to go mostly reggae, but I listen to a lot of different genres as well. So I don't know if I mix it up a little bit and have somebody like Miles Davis or something like that.
Hey, that would be pretty fucking epic right there, having those 3. That would be an epic festival for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's high quality, sir. I like that. All right. Let's see here. Which song instantly hypes you up?
I've been listening to a lot of Tropodelic lately. I like those guys a lot. They have quite a few songs that get me going. And then there's a couple of songs that I really like by the Elevators right now. And I can't remember what the names of the songs are.
That's okay, dude. No worries. What's a band or artist that you feel is completely underrated?
I hate to sound boring, but Bikini Trill is kind of kind of cool. Like, there not a lot of people know about them, or Tropidelic as well, but more people kind of are getting to know about Tropidelic. Bikini Trill's pretty cool because I love the girl that sings. She's just got such a shiny kind of upbeat voice, and the two guys that back her up just look like they're having so much fun on stage. Like,
I agree with you, sir. 100%. Name a band artist that you would like to see live. This is somebody you've never seen before.
probably the Elevators. I've been waiting to see those guys for a while. Or like Revolution is really cool too.
Yeah, I've seen Revolution twice. They are amazing live.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I seen them at Bonnaroo a few years ago, and then I seen them with Blackwater at the Ocean's Calling Music Festival in Ocean City, Maryland, back in September last year. So yeah, they put on a hell of a performance.
Dirty Heads too. That would be cool. I've never seen those guys. Their tickets are pretty pricey when I've seen them around.
All right. Do you have any good dad jokes?
Not that I can remember.
That's all right. Look at the dog.
There's my boy.
Which terps and or smells are your favorite?
It's hard. It's a tough one. I like this. I kind of like the sweet. I really like grape a lot, but I'm really into like the skunky, funky type stuff as well. I like to kind of switch it up a bit. So I have like a GMO rosin, and then I have a grape rosin. So once in a while, I'll switch back and forth. I'm mostly a flower guy, though. It's kind of.
Yeah, I feel you. I like the flower myself. All right. Which cultivar would you pair with an album?
Would you cultivar with an album? Huh. I don't know. I really can't wait to try this chocolate tie that I got from the Crafting Cannabis. So maybe I'd pair that with like an old school like Rolling Stones album or something like that. Kind of get that nostalgic feeling going, you know?
Oh yeah, that's awesome. All right. What was your first cannabis event?
Probably this harvest festival that we went to when we were kids. I was probably about 19, and that was when my son got. That was when my first girlfriend got pregnant with my first son. So that would be it. We had a friend of mine that had a big harvest he brought down there, and we made a bunch of brownies, and I was selling those and eating those, and felt like I had concrete boots on all day.
That's awesome.
We were smoking right on the Capitol, which was really ironic, you know.
Right.
Because usually we're hiding somewhere dark.
For sure. Which cannabis event has been your favorite to attend?
That hash bash was really a great time. I'm really looking forward to making it work going again next year. It's just hard because my wife doesn't consume, so I really know that she wouldn't enjoy that type of thing, and I'm more or less a shut-in kind of, so it's hard for me to get myself to go out and do stuff.
Right.
But yeah, that was a great time.
Hell yeah, it was. All right. What was your most memorable purchase from a cannabis event?
Well, I got that jar of resin wax, the same place you got a jar, and I can't remember what you got, but I got like this GMO banana. I thought you got, what did you get, a super boof jar or something?
No, I got permanent marker.
Oh yeah, permanent marker. The whole party's coming back now on UTVs.
Do we need to stop? Or are we good?
Oh, we're good.
Okay. All right. Who was the first Gromy in the community that you met?
First one in person.
Yes.
I think it was Badger when I got to Hash Bash. He was waiting at the door. He let me into the house we were all staying at.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I'm glad you get to meet Badger, your first person. That's really cool.
He's a great guy.
He sure is. I love that dude. All right. Let's see here. Which Gromy from the community are you looking forward to meeting?
Well, I always wanted to meet Rudy and the guys from crafting. That was the first podcast that I really got into, and then I remember listening to one of them where you were in it, and I enjoyed that a lot. And I always wanted to meet you, and then I got to meet you at Hash Bash, and Rudy wasn't there.
Right.
So yeah, we'll meet those guys: Blackwater, Rudy, and Early Bird.
Heck yeah. Let's see. Oh, which event or location would you like to attend with your fellow Gromy? This could be an event that you've never been to before.
It sounds like they might try to do something on the East Coast for the cultivation conversation. That would be really cool to go to that. I know I'm going to go to the Alabrije pop-up in Chicago.
You are?
Yes. So,
heck yeah. Me too. I will be there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Wait. The crew's going to be there. Me, Nerd, and Grateful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're all heading up there.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
It's nice to have at least one person that I've met before in person.
Right? Yeah, at least you feel comfortable with somebody there. So, hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. All right.
But yeah, Captain Autoflower mentioned something about a cookout or something on the East Coast, I think in Pennsylvania.
Right.
That would be really cool to do, but I can't do this stuff as often as everybody else. I have a son that's 15 and a wife and my mom that I watch after who's in a home, and so it's kind of hard for me to get away, but maybe next summer. I know the wife would love to go back to the East Coast.
For sure. What's your go-to method to consume cannabis?
I like to use the big bong, the glass bong.
Heck yeah. What kind of bong you got?
Just my buddy actually gave me this a while ago.
A beaker bong? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have an ash catcher on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's a stoner myth you think is total bullshit?
It's kind of. I mean, it's the same thing. Everybody says that you're dumb or you're lazy, you know, which I think is kind of bullshit. I think people tend to medicate because they want to tap into something more creative, or they're kind of bored with life more than that you're just lazy and you want to just sit on your ass.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a cultivar that you're interested in trying to grow that you've never grown before?
I got some more of joint custody that I finally ordered from him in a full pack of this PB and Cray that I really want to try. And then he sent me a pack of grape juice. So those are on my list for next year that I'm really excited about.
Heck yeah. What's your all-time favorite cultivar and why?
It's hard to say. I really like the blueberry type flavor terps a lot. So I've always been into. I can't wait to try this blueberry and OJ that I got going.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that BOJ is intense stuff, bro. if it's anything like Max Torque and Bandit for Meds BBOJ, then yeah, it's pretty strong shit.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Do you have, or who are some of your favorite breeders?
Definitely big green guy. Um, he kind of guided me into the whole Discord. Him and Early Bird, and kind of were more encouraging because I was kind of paranoid about the whole prohibition thing. No pun intended.
Right.
I like Alabrije a lot. I like a lot of these community guys. Outcast, I got to meet at Hash Bash. He was a really great guy, and he gave me some packs, and I actually have some of his stuff running as well. And I just finished one of his sacred watches.
Oh, snap.
So that one looked really nice. It started to kind of fade into a purple, and it looks real lime green with some nice orange hairs on it.
Heck yeah.
So,
I love Outcast. His genetics are amazing. So yeah.
yeah, they just seem really strong, like some of these plants you grow are just, you got to baby them, and you worry about them a lot. And some of them, they're there and there's no problems,
Right. Do you have a favorite cannabis related movie and or TV show?
Definitely when I was a kid, we loved to watch the Cheech and Chong series. I just would constantly watch those over and over again.
Right.
Those are the most memorable to me. I mean, Dazed and Confused was really awesome.
I just seen Dazed and Confused like for the first time a few years ago, and I was like, man, this movie's fucking wild.
Really? It's so funny to look back watching it now that you know who all the characters are. Because when I first watched it, I didn't know all those characters were so big, or they became so big as celebrities. So it's wild to watch it now and be like, there's Ben Affleck and there's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, it's wild. It's so cool. All right. If you could have a smoke session with anyone dead, who would it be?
Oh, definitely Bob Marley, I would say. I don't know. He's kind of like an idol to me. Like, I just always was so into that guy and his music, and just it was always so intriguing to me the way that, I don't know, the way that he was and the kind of person he tried to be.
That's awesome. All right. So same question, but alive.
Alive. I don't know. Maybe like somebody like Ed Rosenthal or something. Somebody you could gain some knowledge from, like a grower, like a veteran.
Yeah, dude. That's a really good answer. Yeah. That's smart.
Yeah, I don't know. I love to pick people's brains, and you can talk about something that you both share a common interest in, or just kind of observe how somebody else does the same thing that you do.
For sure. This is the last question of the hot seat. Do you have a favorite cannabis podcast, and who is it?
Well, definitely crafting was the first one that I got into. But there's now there's so many new ones that are coming out. Grateful is great, and Yag was like always my go-to. They relate on so many levels of just being a normal, average Joe type guy.
Right.
And then there's Cultivation Conversation. It's really cool to listen to someone that has like a female in the industry. I think that's kind of cool because that's pretty rare.
That's awesome, man. Well, the next segment I have is Think of Grow Me. And basically just we thank a Grow Me in a community every week. Regardless of the summertime coming out, everybody's usually getting out. Some people are afraid of even getting outside during the summertime, and they'll lock themselves up, and they sometimes they need some encouragement to get out and do stuff to get stuck in that little spot. And I encourage everybody in the community to reach out to any of your Gromies and just just reach out and say something to them. Say, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like, hey, thank them for something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to encourage you to thank somebody in the community as well. But since I have you here, I'm going to go ahead and thank you, Big Jer, for stepping out of your comfort zone and coming to Hash Bash. I know that you were very nervous about coming, and I'd heard that you actually stopped and turned around a few times, but they just kept on coming. But also, I'd like to thank you for going to the Cup with me. I generally don't like going to places by myself neither, so it's like it worked out that both two people that don't like going anywhere by themselves to go with each other. It totally worked out.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And then also, I would like to thank you for the words of encouragement over the past few years. I know we've been chatting over the last few years over Discord, and even if when times were tough, you were always there to give me some words of encouragement, and it's really stuck with me over the years. So I truly appreciate that.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
I wanted to thank Back Nine because he gave me this really nice package of gifts that him and his wife procured, and I got one of those roll-ons, and it does actually work very nice.
Right?
I let my wife use it, and she doesn't consume, and it works for her, and I use it on my stiff muscles in my neck or on my head, and it just instantly my neck loosens up and cracks. But I wanted to thank Early Bird because he's the guy who kind of encouraged me to get into this whole Discord. And I have a lot of friends online, but I don't have any growing friends in real life. Like, I have one good friend that grows, and it's hard for us in this state. And I tried to get him on Discord, and I think he's kind of nervous about it, and he won't go on it. And I'm just so glad that I went on it and gave it a chance, and I don't think that would have happened without Early Bird and Big Green Guy encouraging me to just take a chance and that it would be, all right, because I don't know how to explain it, but, in Prohibition land, it's a lot different than most of the people I meet don't really understand how that is, so.
Right. No, I completely understand because I'm still in Prohibition land. So I understand, like, I don't have very many local gromies at all compared to the amount of gromies on Discord. Like, I got a ton of them. They're spread out all over the place.
Yeah, and it's scary to ask questions and post pictures, and you just kind of feel like you're putting yourself out there with a target on your back.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that when I first started on Discord, having that whole target thing. Like, I was so scared. Like, I would shake when I'd be putting pictures up and shit. But then just once you realize it's nothing, like, it's a lot more relaxed than what you think it is.
Yeah.
But then being able to meet up with people and that really helps out too as well,
Yeah, it's really nice to put the faces to the names,
Right. For sure. Well, also, I would like to thank a couple people in the community. I'd also like to thank Blue Ridge Grows and Artificial Equinox for reaching out and listening to the show and everything. I appreciate everybody that's taken their time to listen to the show. I know we got work and family and all this other stuff, and it's nice being able to have this conversation with my gromies that I meet up with, and everybody kind of listening in. Seems like it's working too when it comes to like people wanting to come to events because people are generally nervous about meeting up. The hangs are starting to get more and more people, so I have been enjoying that. It's like I'm meeting new people all the time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and I know that's how it's going to be like, especially when you and I go to Alabrie's drop. It's going to be a bunch of new people that we're going to be meeting. I mean, I'm sure it's the people that we know of, but we'll know them by face at that point.
Yeah, a lot of the Yag boys, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Artificial actually sent me some pepper seeds too out of nowhere for free. So thanks to him. Pretty awesome guy.
Hell yeah, dude. So the next segment is upcoming events. Do you have any upcoming events that you're looking forward to, like cannabis and music events, or any other types of any other types of events?
So I'm going to the Alabrije, and then it's funny. I was just on Instagram this morning, just scrolling through, and I saw that Iration's playing on my birthday, and Bikini Trill's opening for them. So I'm sure we're going to be going to those guys in August. It's going to
Bro, that's gonna be epic, bro.
Yeah, down in Milwaukee at the rave. It's called
Hell
the Eagle
yeah.
Ballroom. Yeah, it's been like 4 years since we've seen Iration, so that'll be a good time.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm happy for you. I'm so glad you're gonna be able to do that on your birthday, especially.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. The only other upcoming event that I've got is I'm going to a field party the middle of next month. I went to a field party here in Tennessee a few weeks ago, and I'm going to another one here coming up shortly.
Huh.
So it's pretty wild. Field parties are wild. It's a full on music event in a field in Middle Tennessee, like it's off in the woods kind of thing.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, this is the end of the show. I was going to go ahead and give you the opportunity to give out your socials.
I'm just Big Jer on Discord. I think I might be Big Jer on Instagram. I don't really post much on there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, everyone listening and watching, thank you. I hope you're out there having a wonderful time. Thank you, Big Jer, for joining the show.
Thank you.